श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये।
We'll just chant mantra 12, 13, 14. Andham tamah pravishanti ye sambhutimupasate. Andham tamah pravishanti ye sambhutimupasate. Tato bhuya ivate tamaha ya usambhutya gumrataha. Tato bhuya ivate tamaha ya usambhutya gumrataha. Anyadevahu sambhavat anyadahura sambhavat. Anyadevahu sambhavat अन्यदाहुर संभवात् इति शुश्रुम पूर्वे धीराणां येन तद्विचचक्षिरे इति शुश्रुम धीराणां येन तद्विचचक्षिरे सम्भूतिं च विनाशं च यस्तद्वेदो भयगुंसः सम्भूतिं विनाशं च यस्तद्वेदो भयगुंसः विनाशेन मृत्युं तीर्त्वा सम्भुत्यामृतमश्नुते विनाशेन मृत्युं तीर्त्वा असम्भुत्यामृतमश्नुते. Yesterday, we saw the two different phalam of Sambhuti Upasana and Asambhuti Upasana. Sambhuti is referred here as Vinasha, that which is with form. Any Upasana, Upasya with form is Sambhuti Upasana. And Prakriti Upasana, which is formless Prakriti itself, Maya, that Upasana is called Asambhuti Upasana. Sambhuti Upasana is called as Vinasha here. Vinashena Mrityum Tirtva. See, this sentence itself is contradictory. Because when you say Vinashena Mrityum, by Vinasha you cross death. How are you going to cross death? So, and that means Sambhutya, by Sambhuti Upasana, worshipping or pursuing any form. That action, whether physical or mental, that action will bear the result of going to some loka. And that loka will be limited, and that being the case, the fellow will be reborn in this world and will continue the journey of cycle of birth and death. So it is referred as Vinasha. And by that you cross Mrityu. You know what is Mrityu? Mrityu is not death. Here you have to take a upalakshana of Mrityu. Lack of Aishwarya, lack of resources, lack of wealth is Mrityu. We have two classic examples. As I said, Mrityu means dukkham. And for a grihasthi, not to have resources is great pain. And for that, we have two classic examples of Mahabharata. One is Dronacharya, who was so poor, being a grihastha. He himself was fairly knowledgeable person. He had a lot of dispassion. But he was so poor that they didn't have milk to give to their son. It was not their milk. And his wife used to mix the dough and make it white, and baby will drink. That I thought I am drinking a milk, which was not the case. And that child was sort of bullied, or they made mockery. His friends made fun of him. That hurt his wife so much that she pushed him that you should go to Dronacharya, who is your friend. You have been claiming me, you have been telling me your childhood stories when you were together in Gurukulam. Please go to that person and ask for at least a cow. I don't want any wealth. King is just very benevolent and giving king. He may give many things, but I don't want anything. I just want a cow. And he went, and then the rest is the story you know. He refused to recognize the childhood friend. He went there and claimed to be the friend. And that fellow refused to recognize. And it was very hurting for him. And then took a revenge in terms of training Pandavas and all those things. He had an agenda. See, he did not teach without agenda. Teacher should be the one who has no agenda. Teacher's agenda is nothing but the growth of the student. And when with that agenda teacher teaches, then teaching is nishkama. The teaching is out of sheer love, sheer compassion, sheer empathy, the knowledge and the wisdom that I have, which is so rare, and I want to share to alleviate the dukkham of the students. He had an agenda all along. In Mahabharata teaching, you can see in Mahabharata, he kept on asking the boys, will you give me Guru Dakshina, whatever I want? And Arjuna was always saying, yes, yes. Even if I have to give up my life, I'll get you what you want. You give me the knowledge. You give me this weaponry. And he always begged on Arjuna. Therefore, he was partial. No doubt he was an excellent student. But then he had this commitment, love for the Guru. And we were studying. That is asked Swamiji, how is the batch? How are the students? Swamiji said they are like the sponge. But then the sponge, they gather whatever I teach. Some of them are like sponge. That was the best compliment we had received from him. Anyway, by the way, Arjuna was like a sponge, ready to receive Vidya. And in that connection, second pair of friendship we have is between Krishna and Sudama. He was also sent, they were buddies from the schools, Gurukula. And he was also sent by his wife, that you have been claiming that fellow is a friend and he's the king of Dwarika, and then go and get me a cow at least for our children. The difference that Dronacharya was a modern guy, like our guys, modern times. He had only one son. Ek ya do, bas. He didn't have many children. Whereas this Sudama had almost a cricket team with him. Nothing, not less than that. So they wanted few cows. And Sudama did not ask, but then Krishna remembered, and the rest you know the story. By the way, the Sudama lived in our modern Porbandar. Our Porbandar, which is near my place, Rajkot. It is, I don't know how it got a name Porbandar, but the original name is Sudama Puri. Puri means town belonging to Sudama. And even today, there is one temple of Sudama in that city. Very ill-maintained, but there is a temple. And coming back to this, that Daridryam is mrityu. People commit suicide because of Daridryam. So that is a mrityu. Another thing is adharma is mrityu. To crave for Aishwarya, To crave for name and form and position and connections and money and resources is one thing. And because of the pressure wanting to have at the earliest, one may cut corners, one may take shortcut, one may take the life of adharma. To that it is said, adharma is also mrityu. So, adharmena, by adharma you cross samsara. Adharma is a mrityu. And then this person is crossing adharma. When you do upasana, see this Bhagavat Nama Japa has two advantages. One, you gain the concentration, and Ishvara being involved in it, it cleanses your mind slowly and steadily. Antakarana Shuddhi takes place. And when the Antakarana is Shuddham, then there will not be any inclination to do papa. Ishvara Bhaya will be there, fear of the Lord, and therefore you may not commit papa. So it is said, Sambhodya Vinashena Mrityum Tirva. And Sambhodya Asambhodya Amrutam Ashnute. And I had told yesterday, Amrutam is a state of laya, state of resolution, that it is like our sleep. And that being the case, person enjoys the sukham, but there is a veil of ignorance. Now, there are 3-4 mantras which are prayers. Okay? Next mantra itself is a prayer at the time of parting. The individual is on the deathbed and he sees that now the Yama is coming to take my prana. And at the last moment of his life, the person is praying. Okay? Look at the mantra, then I will explain something about it. Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapi hitam mukham tattvam pushanna pavrunu satya dharmaya drashtaye hiranmayena patrena satyasyapi hitam mukham hiranmayena patrena satyasyapi hitam mukham tattvam pushanna pavrunu satya dharmaya madrashtaye tattvam pushanna pavrunu satya dharmaya drashtaye. Very beautiful mantra. It says, Hiranmayena patrena satyasya apihitam mukham. Apihitam means covered. Apihitam means this is concealed. Apihitam means hidden. What? Mukham. Mukham means entry point. Mukham means the gate. Mukham means the face. The entry is covered. Entry is concealed or hidden. What? Whose entry and what? He says, Satyasya, of the truth. The face or the gate or the entry of the truth is hidden, is concealed. And he says, by what? Hiranmayena patra. Patra means a vessel or an object which is Hiranmaya, golden. Golden vessel has covered. The right translation would be the face or the entry point or the gate of the truth is covered or concealed by the golden vessel. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya apihitam tattvam apavranu. That gate, tat dwaram apavranu. May you please open it. May you please remove the concealment, remove the hidden thing. To whom does he say? Hey Pushan. Let us translate Pushan as Pushan now. Pushan means Surya. No, hey, O Lord Sun, please remove or the gate, please open the gates of the truth. Please remove the cover of that covering of the truth, and which is a golden vessel. Please remove that. Why should I remove? The request. I deserve also. I'm not just asking without putting in the efforts. I deserve it. Why? Satya Dharmaya Mahyam. I am the one, Satyasya Upasanat Satya Dharma. I have always done Upasana of Satya. Means I was committed to Satya Dharma all throughout the life. That Aham Satya Dharma, for that person, please open or remove the vessel, golden vessel, which covers the truth, the gate or the entry of the truth. Gate or the entry means vision of the truth. The vision of the truth is covered by golden vessel. Golden vessel is Ahankara. I'll explain why. The Ahankara seem to have covered the truth, which is my Swarupa, which is I. And O Lord, Hiranyagarbha, Surya is a symbol of Hiranyagarbha. Please remove that vessel. Please open the gates. Please help me to own up the vision of the truth. And I am deserving one because I have lived a life of Satya. That is the general meaning of this. This is a prayer by a devotee, at the end of his life. Marana Samaye Prarthana. Here, one thing you should know. I would like to clarify this. There is a popular misconception amongst Indians, and more so in India. American Indians are different. More so in India, that if we remember the Lord at the last time, you will go to Vaikuntha. Whatever you remember, you will get that entry. So they also, when somebody is sick or a deathbed, they know he or she is to go. They start singing bhajans and then Ram Ram and then Gita Parayan or Narayan, whatever it is. And to give a pramanam, to validate this, they have a story of Bhagavad. There was Ajamil, a Brahmana, and he was a very erudite scholar and very austerious person living a life of dharma, and somehow by a stroke of destiny got committed to adharma. Picked up all kinds of vices, drinking and gambling and eating meat and then womanizing as well. And suddenly the death came. When the death came, the fellow had suddenly he had children. And one of the son, whose name was Narayana, the youngest one, and he called Narayan, Narayan, out of fear from the death. And suddenly Yamadutas were stopped from taking his prana. And this Narayana Dutas, those guys had come from Yamaloka, from CBI, FBI. And suddenly from President House, the messenger comes and pushes back those CBI fellows. Hey, you get out. This is our person. Narayana has sent for us. And those do the story, and this Kathakara elaborate. And then they say the Pushpak Vimanam came, and then he went back in Pushpak Vimanam to Narayan Loka because he remembered Narayan. There is a pith in the story, it's true. But the way they narrate, they themselves do not know. So Swayam confused, Anyan confusayati. They are all confused and they make others confused. Because the story doesn't mean that you remember Narayana and you go to Narayana. That is the only that part is true. But there is a Vakya also in Gita ji. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tame vaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhava. Whatever bhava, yam yam bhavam smaranti ante kalevaram. When the body, kalevaram means body. At the time of giving a body, whatever bhava is there, you attain a upadhi or a body of that bhava. They miss out that the word last. Sada tad bhava bhavi. It is easy to say that at the end time I will remember Narayana. End time Narayana can never be remembered. You can remember Narayana at the end, at the time of death, only if you have remembered Narayana throughout life. I have come across one person those days in Bombay. Somebody narrated, I was not present. Father was on the deathbed, and then son and the son-in-law also came. They called the son-in-law because the daughter they called, not the son-in-law, but the son-in-law and came. And out of love and respect for father-in-law, son-in-law said, Baba Ram Ram, Jai Shri Krishna. Those days, Indian economy was different. Narendra Modi was not there, after Indira Gandhi and time. So there was all black and white deals. When you buy a house, you have to pay 60%, 40% cash, and then rest is check. And that old man happened to be a builder. When his son-in-law came, Baba Ram Ram, Jai Shri Krishna, then old man could not speak. When he said Krishna, he said like this, 50 Krishna. And when he said Ram Ram, he said 75 times. Krishna means black money. Rama means white money. So Rama doesn't, see, there is a word bhava. Remember this, not the word. When Rama is spoken, what comes to your mind is purely subjective. You may remember that Ramakrishnan, some Ramakrishnan. When the fellow says Ram Ram, you may remember Ramakrishnan, your colleague, who is not a good guy, and etc. You may get angry at the time of death also. So, bhaya, anger, jealousy, all that bhava, whatever is there, they decide the next body. But that bhava comes if you have remembered Narayana throughout. In modern times, I have a beautiful, very apt example to explain this. No company can make profit on 31st March only. Last day we made this deal and we made profit. You cannot. It may be window dressings. Banks do. Indian banks used to do profiting. All so-called bad debts, they kept on adding interest on the interest and showed the profit. Modi had to do so much of exercise. This is non-performing assets. Remove them. And then they discover that all banks are in liquidation. On paper, they were making profit. You can make profit on last day by window dressing, by some jugglery. But to listen this, to show the profit, if a firm shows a profit of some million or 2 million rupees, it is the end product of what? All the transactions performed on the 1st April of the previous year onwards. Every day sale and purchase, every day's dealing has a bearing on the profit. That summary will come out, net profit or net loss. Even if he has purchased some 2 rupees pins, $1 pins for the paper clips, That also has a bearing on that figure, which comes out on the 31st of March when you close the books. Similarly, every thought, every deed, every desire, every ambition, all has a bearing on what comes out at the end of it. You don't decide that this will be my thought at the end time. It is like saying, on 31st March, I will decide how much profit to make. Correct? If you want to make some the amount of profit, you have to start working on 1st April onwards. Unless you are Donald Trump's company, you can make that kind of profit on 31st March. Show some profit. You cannot do that. You have to be focused from day one. So, end time, my point is, one can remember Narayana at the end time, provided he or she has remembered Narayana all the time. That is, if that fellow has told Narayana at the deathbed, there the story people tell that he called his son. No! Narayana did not create a bhava of a son in his mind. Narayana the son was not brought because of the youngest one and the most dear one and etc. No. When he said Narayana, he remembered that original Narayana, Shankachakra Gada Padma. Therefore, Narayana Dutas came. If out of attachment he had remembered his son, Narayana will not come. He will not send his messengers. Hey, he is remembering me. You cannot fool Narayana. You can fool a human being by making WhatsApp. Oh, I miss you. I love you. I miss you. That you can do on WhatsApp and messages. But Narayana knows that you don't call him. And he said Narayana, he certainly meant that Narayana which is in Sheshasagar, Lakshmipati Narayana. Not my Tintin Narayana, he never meant this Tapudo Narayana, Tapudo, my Tapu, this Jethalal no Tapudo, he never meant that way. So, end time, you can remember only if you remember the Lord throughout the life. No one can remember the Ishvara only at the end hour. You have to remember throughout. What all you think, what all you do, what all you desire, what all sankalpas you do, summary of that comes out at the end. Okay. Now let us see this mantra. So at the end of the life, this person is remembering. What does it mean? He is been doing upasana throughout the life. He has been remembering Narayana throughout the life. He has been doing that. And therefore, he says, He Pushan, O Surya Devata. Here is a Hiranyagarbha Upasaka. Hiranyagarbha Upasana is a symbol of all kinds of upasanas. Not necessarily Hiranyagarbha. Every upasana with the form, you remembering Krishna or Devi or Ganpati or Shiva or anything is Sambhuti upasana. This is a prayer by Sambhuti upasaka. He says, O Hiranyagarbha, Ushan means sun. Sun is a symbol of Hiranyagarbha, Srishtikarta. Just as yesterday I said, Hiranyagarbha means Samashti Sukshma Sharira. The first, foremost manifestation. Which manifestation? Subtle manifestation, Sukshma manifestation. And from there, the sun is a manifestation from which the whole gross world is. The energy is solar energy only ultimately. So also from the Hiranyagarbha only the whole creation of name and form has come about. And just as the sun sustains the earth, Sthitikarta, so also Hiranyagarbha is Sthitikarta of the Jagat. Therefore, sun symbolizes Vishnu or Hiranyagarbha, whatever you want to contemplate upon. So he says, O Lord, please open the gates of the truth. Please open the entry point. The gate is what? It is covered. Mouth of the truth is covered. Mouth means beginning, entry. Is covered by what? He says, Hiranmayena Patre, by golden vessel. Hey Pushan, oh Bhagavan, please open. I had only one desire all throughout the life to gain the vision of the truth. All efforts, whatever I could do, I did it. But I could not have that vision. I have found myself to be limited. Either my efforts were insufficient, or only the primary cause is my efforts were insufficient. My karmas were like that, I couldn't see it. So, student accepts his or her helplessness, and then there is a prayer. Oh Pushan, please open the gates. Oh Hiranyagarbha. The prayer born out of helplessness is a real prayer. Accepting my helplessness, when you accept the helplessness, then there is a surrender. Surrender comes, total surrender is only when person discovers total helplessness. If there is no, the degree of helplessness felt decides the degree of surrender. The classic example I can give you, a baby, an infant or a child, 4 or 5 years, up to 3 or 4 years, surrenders to his or her mom completely because helplessness is completely felt. In any which way, baby sees itself to be helpless. In every area of its existence, it finds itself to be helpless, and there is a tremendous insecurity as well. There is a bhayam. So it completely surrenders to mother or father or both. And therefore, whatever mom tells, whatever mom does is a Brahma Vakyam for the child. सोने की लकीर बन जाती है हिंदी में जैसे. That means accepted completely. Helplessness is total, surrender is total. Baby just delivers itself to the mom because of helplessness. So here there is a prayer, there is a surrender, and then the person Upasaka has found, has discovered his or her total helplessness. That's a surrender. And that is the prayer also becomes possible only when there is a surrender. Helplessness is felt, then there is a real prayer comes out. Anyway, coming back to this, and by the way, this is not the prayer only to be done at the end of the life. Look at the beauty of our culture. We grew up with this, not knowing what we were doing. But our parents, our schools, our society gave this form. We used to do this prayer every day. Not this particular mantra, but another mantra. And every Indian grown up, Hindu grown up in India, about born and brought up before 2000 would know this. Now modern children may not know, but they know. This used to be daily prayer in many schools. You know that. Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrutyorma Amrutam Gamaya. Asat means from death, untruth. take me to Sat, truth, immortality. Sat. Tamasaha means darkness, ignorance. From ignorance, take me to light. Tamas means darkness to light. Darkness means ignorance. Ignorance, light means knowledge. From ignorance to knowledge, oh Lord, take me to the knowledge. Mrityorma amrutam gramaya. Mrityu means dukkham. Mrityu means death also. Amrutam means immortality also. But the Sat has come. Asatoma sadgamaya. So amrutam means namrutam iti amrutam. And amrutam means nectar. Amrutam means ananda. And then mrityu means dukkha. From dukkha, take me to ananda. From ignorance, take me to the knowledge. And from untruth, mortality, take me to mortality, immortality. That means what? This is a prayer for Satchidananda. Sadgamaya. Jyotihi means Chitgamaya. Amrutam Gamaya means what? Anandam Gamaya. Oh Lord, take me to total happiness. Take me to total knowledge. Take me to total existence. That's a prayer we kept doing all throughout in childhood. It's a right prayer. He says, Hey Pushan, you please take me there. Satyasya apihitam mukham, the face. Pushan means poshan karta, so the one who nourishes, one who sustains. And Hiranmaya. Hiranya means suvarnam, golden, shining. By shining vessel. What is this Hiranmayana Patrena? Hiranmaya Patra is your ahankara, your individuality. Ahankara doesn't mean assertiveness. Ahankara means your individuality. Ahankara means the sense of doership and enjoyership. Ahankara means that the sense of being limited, sense of being alpaha, that is ahankara. By ahankara, I am covered, that satyam is covered. So beautiful. Exactly like by snake, the rope is covered. The snake can never cover the rope, but superimposition covers the substrate. By the film, screen is covered. And you see the film, you hardly notice the screen because you are too much committed or engaged in seeing the film, and that is why covered. You know, I have discussed this in Tattva Bodha. I would like to repeat that. Ahankara means what? Dehatraya tadatmya. Identification with gross, subtle and causal body. Ahankara means identification with all koshas. So, Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha and Anandamaya. In other words, Ahankara means avastha traya kosha. Identify with three avasthas, waking, dream and sleep state. How does it cover? This is how it covers. When I take myself, somehow I take myself to be body, mind complex. That conclusion, into bracket, misconception, itself covers the Atma, which is limitless. That notion that the sun is moving around the earth covers the very sun, covers the movement of the earth. There is some erroneous notion, erroneous conclusion. Notion is always erroneous. So erroneous conclusion covers it. Limitless self can never be covered. But this misapprehension apprehending or taking the self to be what it is not, itself is covering. In a way, limitless thing can never be covered, but it can be covered by very small, insignificant. If I am standing in a ground and at a distance there are chain of mountains, I can cover all the mountains. What are you talking about? Where will you get that cloth or plastic to cover all of them? Who will stitch it? And who will go and cover it? I can cover the whole thing, blessed thing, with my little finger. How? I just put little finger in my eyes and everything gets covered. Correct? In Gujarati there is a bhajan. Tarna othe dungar, dungar koi dekhe. Tarna means a whiff of grass, a blade of grass. Behind the blade of grass there is a mountain. Nobody sees the mountain. They see only that whiff of blade, that blade of grass. Little finger can cover range of mountains. Forget about people around me. They all get covered. Why? The vision is stifled. The vision is blocked. Similarly, the vision about the self, if it is stifled at the body level, if it is blocked at the mind level, intellect level, prana level, etc., that means the self is. In other words, when the self is taken to be body or prana or mind or intellect, etc., that particular conclusion, I am this, covers the self. This conclusion, I am dukhi, covers the ananda. That conclusion, that self-identity is there since beginningless of time, and therefore it is a confounded conclusion. It is like RCC cement working with the steel and things like that fixed up. When it is fixed up, it is so strong that person is incapacitated by his own error to change. Even the fellow will not see the need to change, will not explore the possibility of change, will not see the hope to change. That is where Shraddha comes in. If you have Shraddha on a teacher, if you continue with the Shraddha on Ishvara, that will lead you to change. That conclusion is covering. And Ahankara is shining. It's gold. Gold means what? Most precious thing. Nowadays, few other metals are there scientifically which are more precious, but those days, gold used to represent the most precious metal. You know why? The gold never loses its price and it is always precious because that is the only metal where no oxidation process takes place. If it is silver or bronze or whatever, German silver, the weather effect takes place, not on gold. That's all. Therefore, it is precious. Surroundings cannot impact the gold to develop a rust. Therefore, it is precious. It's in a way good. If any surrounding in our life, it doesn't impact you to develop a rust in thinking, rustic thinking. You are a precious person. To be precious, you be like gold, By that, and in North India, they give names Sonu. The boy, the man and girl, boy and a girl also. Sonu Beta. Sonu is, I don't know what kind of Sonu it is, so what kind of gold it is. And this is the most rusticated iron ore. Their mother will call the baby to be Sonu. Anyway. So Hiranyam is shining and Hiranyam is precious. So that he says, Hiranmayana Patra, by the vessel in the Ahankara, where the truth is covered, that is myself, that is Tattvam Apavrunu. Oh Bhagavan, help me to remove the veil of Ahankara. Help me to falsify the Ahankara. Help me, or bless me to what? So that I can see myself as I am. And that is possible, I remind you, only if you have been doing that. If the fellow is doing business up to 80 years and 75 years and attending clients, I keep telling some people, you please come and study, please come and study, One gentleman has been promising me for last 5-7 years. Whenever he gives me dakshina, I tell him, I don't want this cash dakshina. I want a dakshina that you attend classes. Swamiji, time is a problem. As though Swamiji has nothing to do. Swamiji has time to take class, but that fellow doesn't have class. So, whenever I meet him, I pray to Bhagavan, hey Bhagavan, give me some dhairyam. I have to talk to him. And the same excuse will come, and still I have to pursue. That's at the death time, only the officer will come to me. Only the Janma will go there. We have to see our religion, our culture taught us. In life, remember one thing. Draw boundaries. What is asakti? Open boundary relation is asakti. Live a life like a credit card. Every credit card has a limit, except few exceptional clients in the globe. They have limitless. There is a limit. So have some boundaries. And our culture had these. Therefore, it said after 50, you give up. You had been managing director, managing the whole affairs of the house and this, that. Now, make your son as the CEO of the company. Modern title. Those days, MD was prestigious. Now, MD, these Americans always want new thappa, So the MD, no, that's not a good one. Now it is CEO, Chief Executive Officer. Make your son CEO and you become the chairman. Even the chairman may have some say. Better example is be the president and make the son Narendra Modi Prime Minister. Indian president, that is Vanaprastha. To draw a boundary in the life. So far I will do that earning part. And it has to be done in a phased manner. 1 hour less, 1 hour less, 1 hour less. Slowly I do something for Atma Unnati, for my growth. This person has done this, and therefore he says at the end, the truth is as though hidden by the Atma Buddhi because of my identification. At a Vesti level, self-ignorance; at Samasti level, Maya, projection about the world, Ragadvesha, Sadhanani, etc. In other words, to take the world as real, really separate, really capable of giving me happiness. Therefore, we want objects. And looking upon myself to be limited. Really, I am limited, I am helpless, I am dukkhi. That is covering. That this conclusion or notion covers the face of the truth. As I said, the face of the truth or truth being limitless can never ever be covered, but an intellect, blocked intellect, like block the eyes. Blocked eyes can cover the whole range of mountain. Similarly, blocked intellect can cover the truth which is self-revealing, self-evident consciousness. self-existence consciousness. That self gets covered because of ignorance. Therefore, Shishya says, Hey Pushan, Apavu. And who am I? Satya Dharmaya. I have lived a life of Satyam and Dharma. I have lived a life of ethical life. What is the truth? I have always sided myself to the truth. I never compromised Satyam, truth, for any gain. There was no pressure within to have something at the cost of truth. And then I have lived Satyameva Dharma Yasya Saha. Satya Dharmaya. That to me, that person who was always committed to truth is a value. And you can say truth and the Satya and Dharma, both separate. I have been committed to Satya means I committed myself to life of values, and Dharma means I have done what is to be done by. I have never erred from my duty. I have never swerved my life path away from what is my kartavya karma, what is to be done. And therefore he says, Satya Dharmaya Mahya. Last one. Satya Dharma would mean something. Satyameva Dharma. In other words, Satya Dharma means what? I have Satyam, I have committed myself to Satyam. I always lived a life of commitment to Brahmagnan. There was no other agenda in my life except gaining the knowledge. Except having gained the knowledge, assimilating, owning up the knowledge. That is Satya Dharma. Satyameva Dharma. Truth means Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma alone was my way of life. Dharma also can mean a way of life. Dharma can also mean to be done. So knowledge of the self alone was to be done for me. I have put in enough effort to gain the knowledge and to understand, have gained clarity in the knowledge and own up the knowledge. I have done Shravana, Manana and Nitidhyasa. Very, very committed. Satya Dharma. I deserve, oh Lord Yama. And I want only, or not Lord Yama, oh Pushan, hey Hiranyagarbha. And I want that only. That is my desire. That means I have been Tivra Moksha. I have strong desire for moksha, and that I am asking you, please teach. Please give me, open the door means please teach me the knowledge. Something more is said, we will discuss, and next mantra we will see on next Saturday. Om Purnamadah Purnamidampurnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.